3, 2, 1. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Today is Tuesday. It is 8:41 p.m. on a beautiful night here in El Paso, Texas. Today, guys, episode number 74. We are joined, as always, by co-host of the podcast, Misa. Say what's up.
Yo, what it do?
Yeah. Also, guys, in the producer chair from Watch Out Loud, his name is Wesley. Say what's up, Wesley.
What's up, Wesley?
And for episode number 74, guys, we have a very special guest for the podcast. We have the founders of Three Mission Brewery, Rick, Razo, and Mr. Travis Stoner. They are here for episode number 74 of the podcast, guys. Say what's up to the pod.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Welcome, guys. Welcome. Thanks for giving us the time, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having us, for sure.
Yeah, guys, we really do appreciate you spending some time out of your busy schedule and coming to chat with us about your brewery. We got a lot to get into. We got a good podcast for you guys. Guys, make sure you're liking us on Facebook, liking us on Instagram. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We're already up to almost 240 subscribers. Let's get that number up. So, guys, we have a very special podcast for you guys. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've ever had somebody on the podcast that loves beer more than me and Misa. I don't think that's ever happened before.
No. I don't think so, dude.
But I think we have some competition here with Mr. Rick and Travis. So we're gonna get to know them a little bit and get their story and see why it is they decided to start a brewery in beautiful Socorro, Texas, which I went to today. We'll get into all of that. So before we start the podcast, guys, you know there's a tradition, a tradition unlike any other, and it's called the cracking of the celebratory beer, and it sounds a little like this.
Oh, Jesus. Look at him. Hey. Cheers, guys.
So, guys, cheers. Thank you for everyone for being here today. Mr. Rick, Mr. Travis, Mr. Wesley, Misa, thank you all for being here. I'm going to indulge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't wait for you to finish, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, man. No. You guys drink at your own pace, man. You guys do your thing.
All right.
All right, guys. So for the podcast audience who may not have heard of your brewery and who do not know who you are, Mr. Rick, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? And then Mr. Travis, can you follow after?
Yes, I'm Rick Razo. I am head brewer and part owner of Three Mission Brewery here in Socorro. And I'm very glad to be on this podcast.
Hell yeah. Mr. Travis.
Hey guys, what's going on? Travis Stoner, part owner. I guess my official title is foremost handshaker. I just do whatever Rick tells me to do.
It's kind of like Chris telling me to just put my blindfold and try and do all these testing. Jesus. It's like, hey, Misa, today you're going to do this, and that. Like,
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, and.
That's what's up. Yeah, sometimes you just got to be the guy that fills in and does the dirty work, you know what I mean? And I think, it's all good to have that one friend.
That's what makes a good team, man. That's what makes a good team.
That's what makes a good team, man. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. So the way I found out about you, I actually had a friend, a former coworker of mine. Shout out to Luis Muniz, friend of the podcast. He lives over there in Socorro. And he stumbled upon your brewery. I don't know how, but he went one day. He had a great time. He said he drank a lot of beer. Him and his wife, they had a great time. And so he calls me into his office one day and says, hey, dude, try to get these guys on your podcast. And next thing you know, I was DMing you guys. And now about 2 months later, here we are. So shout out to that. But Mr. Travis, tell us a little bit about this brewery, where it's located, and how did this whole idea even come to fruition?
Hey, we're at 10179 Socorro Road, right next to Casa Ortiz, right down the street from the Mission. It came about from a love of beer. Like you guys said, you're beer lovers, we're beer lovers. You guys get it. We need craft beer in El Paso, and it's a fun, growing market right now. I think that we've got to definitely thank some of the guys who kicked the doors down and opened them up for us. If you would have thought craft beer in El Paso 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have known what was going on. But, as you can see, it's definitely a growing market, and we're excited to be a big part of it for sure.
Look at that, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's a beautiful place. I went down there today. I actually met Rick prior to this podcast. So what had happened was I was messaging their IG page, and I was trying to see if possible, because my boy Chris Molina gave us an idea like, hey, try to get some beer from these guys so you can try it on the pod. You guys were closed today. and you guys were actually still able to let me go pick up some beer. I really appreciate that. Mr. Rick was super nice right when I got there. He's like, dude, you're going to try all these little beers. So he gave me a sample of them all. They were all amazing. Very good tasting beer. I was actually very impressed. And so like, I'm excited that you guys are here, and I'm excited to hear your story. So Mr. Rick, tell us a little bit about yourself. Did you grow up in El Paso, or like, are you from here, or what's your situation?
The first 5 or 6 years of my life, I grew up about 5 minutes from the brewery.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
City. But then we moved down to the Bel Air area by Lafayette and North Loop, and that's where I lived. And then after I graduated, I left to Dallas. I got a degree there. I lived there for about 3 years, came back, ended up in the service industry. And yeah, I mean, now I own part of a brewery. So it's pretty cool.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
I think we're in the wrong business right now. Did you see like their brewery? I felt like I could show up in the horse and it just be perfect.
There's people that have shown up in horses.
Dude,
oh, you see?
Yeah, like if you're not familiar with that Socorro area, I'm not like super familiar with it, but you know, I've been like around there because of previous jobs that I had, and so I was able to find the brewery pretty easy. It's right off, I believe, Socorro Road, right?
Right on Socorro Road.
Right on Socorro Road. You can't miss it. You'll drive through the whole city. You can't miss it. That area over there is really nice. It's got a lot of history behind it, obviously, with the missions. Actually, like the first county seat of El Paso, I believe, was over there, like near Socorro. Like that's how historic the area was. So the brewery is very nice. The inside looks really cool, and then everything's on tap, and it was just amazing. So how did you guys get into this? Like, obviously, we all like beer, right? I remember being probably 10 years old when I had my first beer. It was at a UTEP tailgate, and I snuck it from the fucking, like, the ice chest that nobody was watching because everybody had already had, like, 20 beers each. So I snagged one. Me and my friend Greg Wilson, I always remember that. That was my first beer ever. And so what about you guys? I want to go around the room
hold on.
here.
I'm sorry. Hold on. What kind of beer was it?
It was a Bud Light, dude. It's the same beer I'm drinking right now.
Oh, Jesus.
It all comes full circle, man. So I was meant to be sitting here today talking to some guys who own a brewery about the very first time I drank Bud Light while drinking a Bud Light.
Really?
So that we're just tying all the ends here.
Wow.
So let's go around the room here. I'll start with you, Mr. Travis. When was your first beer? What age, if you remember the circumstances behind it?
So I was about 8. So I got to beat a couple years.
I thought I was bad.
So at that time, my dad was an over-the-road truck driver and has been, his whole life. He worked nights. So I think he was gone one night and, just opened the fridge and thought, yeah, why not? We'll drink this.
Wow. Okay. What kind of beer was it? Do you remember what kind of beer it was?
It was a Busch Light.
Oh.
So the mountains win again.
Right.
But as soon as I tasted it, I thought, oh, Daddy's Kisses.
You're like, why does this smell like Dad's cologne?
So this is what my dad brushes his teeth with.
Dude, that's crazy, dude. You were 8 years old, and you snagged one of your dad's beer.
Busch.
I'm sure that's happened so many times throughout American history.
Yeah, maybe on accident, but not like, hey, like I should try it now. I'm only 8.
Mr. Rick, what about your story? How old were you when you had your first beer, your first run-in with alcohol?
My first run-in with alcohol, I was probably 4 or 5 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Man, see, Rick really got us all beat.
He would give us whiskey to go to sleep.
They give us whiskey to go to sleep.
Yeah, she would give us whiskey. She also taught us how to shoot guns, and we were shooting guns here in the backyard in Socorro. But my first whole beer was in a town outside Cologne, Germany, and I was 12 years old. Oh, and I wish I knew what it was called. I just remember it didn't taste good because I didn't like beer, right?
That's awesome, dude. Your first beer in Germany.
And
that's a good place to have your first beer.
And they do warm beers over there, right?
You know what? I don't remember what it was. It was probably cold.
Right.
It was in Cologne, so now knowing a little bit about the brewing and all that stuff over there, it was probably a Kolsch beer. But I just remember having it because I was like, I'm in Germany, I get like drink beer here because I saw other kids drinking beer, right? Natives there drinking beer, so we had one out there. But that was my first run in with alcohol. So yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Hell yeah. When I said 10 years old, I thought we were going to be progressively going up like a higher age. And then we steadily declined. Like we were like, each one, it was just younger and younger than myself. So Wesley, what was your, when was like, do you remember your first beer?
Yeah, dude. So it was straight out of the womb. My mom was already drinking.
Get out of here, guy. Get out of here.
No, my first bit with alcohol was champagne. It was like New Year's, and I was about 5 or 6, and then they gave me a little tiny glass. But first beer, I actually snuck. My parents were outside on the patio, all hanging out with the rest of the family, and I emptied out a Coca-Cola can, and then took one of their beer cans, filled up the Coca-Cola can, and just sat around the table with them. My mom was like, "Let me have some of that soda." I guess you could smell it or something, and I was acting weird, and I was like.
Yeah, you were probably acting like a damn fool.
Yeah. Like drunk fool.
But that was probably like about 12.
Okay, yeah. So we all started around there. Jesus. Oh, there you go. There's that chair again, Wesley.
Well, compared to everybody else, fucking Wes was a grown ass man.
Right.
Yeah. I had a full beard and everything.
How old were you, Misa?
Actually, I was like 11 or 12 years old. It was like at a family party, and my uncle, the only uncle I have on my mom's side, he was a big Corona drinker. And one day he just grabbed my arm. He's like, "Here, try this." And damn, I remember taking a huge sip and then not even like being able to swallow it all. And I just had to puke it. And it wasn't great, man. I didn't think I'd drink beer again until like I was like 16.
Oh, I drink.
And at 16, it was just, at 16, it was just kind of like my friends are doing it, so I'll do it too. And it was just like nasty shit like Keystone or Busch, stuff like that, And then I found Budweiser.
Miller High Life. Champagne beer.
Champagne.
So I found Budweiser like it's some national treasure.
Well, compared to I don't know, man. At that age, I just started getting into like trying to taste different shit, and Budweiser's just always, kicked him better than Bud Light.
It was always the one. So when we talk about like, obviously we all started to like kind of just have a few beers when we were younger, but for you guys, at what point does it like become evident to you that, hey, like I have like an actual passion for beer and I actually want to learn how to make it and make good quality beer? Because like for me, I love beer, but I just love to drink. Like you know what I mean? and for you guys, it's different because
they probably ran out of beer one day and they're like, "God damn it, I just want to make my own beer already."
Yeah. Like how did that happen? Did you guys buy like your own like brewing kit one day and then just try it? Like what was that story like, Rick?
So when I started to notice that I loved beer, not only wanting to drink, whatever, it was when I was in Dallas. I saw people that made it, and they were called breweries. I had drank beer in high school and everything, but when you find out somebody makes it, it's like, wow, and then that they started pairing things up with it and doing all these sorts of stuff and certain things that you can only get there in that brewery. That's when I really started to like it. And then when I moved back, I started working at a brewery. About a year after I moved back, I started working at a brewery here locally. So that's where I learned how to make it. And after that, now I'm here making beer.
Oh yeah, he's off still making beer, baby. What about you, Mr. Travis? Like when was that moment for you? When did it click? Like, hey, I want to actually be like making my own beer. And you know what was cool? And real fast before you answer, because when I was with Rick earlier, he was sampling me the beer. And then he's like, he gave me one of them and he's like, "This one's my favorite." And he had a glass of it just like right there by the bar. And I'm like, this guy could just sit here all day and just fucking drink beer. Like, how cool is that?
Just, look at him.
Oh my gosh. Look at that stomach.
That's beer. That means business is good, right?
That means that beer is good, man.
I know, man.
So yeah, Travis, how did
that's Rick Monday through Sunday.
Right. Monday through Sunday. Every day that ends with Y, baby. That's us. So yeah, Travis, tell us a little bit about that. How did that click for you? When did you realize like, hey, I really want to get into the brewing of this stuff?
Beyond just starting to sample different flavors and starting to really experience what beer could be, I was just a poor college kid. So we were like, what can we do to get this cheaper and not have to drink Keystone or Natty? So like 5 or 6 of us went and bought a homebrew kit. We started brewing, in the kitchen and making just giant, gross, terrible messes of just stickiness and just, giant disasters. And then I realized, man, this is a lot of work. I like the end result of it. Drinking the beer is definitely the better part, but it definitely gives you a whole new appreciation as you start to brew of like, this is all the work that goes into it. About the time you're adding your, third or fourth batch of hops on some of our beers, Rick and I can kind of look at each other and we're like, you want me to go pour a cold one out of the tap? It is hot in here.
And that's how it starts, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. And so obviously, like, I'm sure it was a lot of trial and error, right? Like, you guys had to constantly be brewing or to see like how to get things right, because I'm sure you guys have made a beer that you tried and you're like, oh, like that's not the one. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. We've had some just, well, this was a fun experiment. It's going in the drain, And then we've had some that like we just kind of guessed on and took a chance on, and we're like, wow, this really hit it out of the park, and this is probably going to be one that we continue to make.
Right. And Rick, how does that process work? Like, how do you guys sit there and decide like, this is the type of beer that I'm going to try to make, and then like these are the ingredients that I'm going to use? Because when I was there today and I was trying your beers, like I was like surprised at some of the flavors I was trying. I was like, what? You put this in a beer? And it was fucking badass.
What? They put bacon in a beer?
No. I said they just they just put like certain things in a beer. Like when Rick was explaining it to me, that I was like, wait, you put this in a beer? And then he's like, yeah. And then you taste it and you're like, oh, okay, I get you.
It's oregano, dude.
All right.
So what's that process like when you guys are brewing? Like, who's making those decisions, or who's the one that's saying, hey, let's add this or let's add that?
So first we throw out ideas. I think we try to come up with creative ideas. So once we get those creative ideas, we choose a couple of them and we say, okay, we're going to build on this one. So, like let's say, hey, like the pomegranate beer. And it's like, why did we choose pomegranates? Well, pomegranates are so common in the area, right? Oh. Go to Walmart, buy a pomegranate. They're like $1 a piece. And here they grow in our backyard. They're at my grandfather's house. They're at my house. They're everywhere. I have a pomegranate tree here at the brewery. So from there, we're like, okay, so what can we add food? What else is local? So we add honey, and hey, what else can we build on it? We really don't want to kill those flavors. So, that you basically have a central ingredient and you base everything on it. The hops, the grain, the mash times, if you're going to pair another ingredient with that, and you base it off of that. And of course, there's research behind it. There's brewers who can come up with it from the top of their head. They can come up with a recipe. I'm not one of those. I have to go online. I have a couple of books, and I'm like, okay, so this hop is supposed to taste like mango. This hop is supposed to taste like pear. This hop is supposed to taste okay. And where do you add it to get those flavors? And so then you start playing with it and all that stuff. And also, what type of grains are going to allow you to have that flavor pop? Or what grains are going to pair well with that flavor, right? So that's how beers are designed, or at least that's the way I've learned to design beers.
Dude, that kind of gives me a picture of like Rick and Travis just like in this dark room, and they look like a bunch of witches just like putting all these like stuff into a big pot, and it's just brewing out, and and it's bubbling and stuff, and then one of them tastes it. He's like, no, let's put some honey in there now, and that's crazy, man. That just makes me realize like how hard it is to actually try and get one flavor. Like now that just makes me think like, what kind of beer would I make? What kind of beer would I want it to taste like? Like mango sounds good.
I think that's the fun part. Like Travis said, the fun part is drinking it, but another fun part is designing it. Everything in between is a lot of work. Yeah. So like the cool thing is coming up with a concept and building it, and then the end result, I think. And that's what attracts people a lot of the time to brewing. They want to see, hey, what if I come up with this and see what happens?
It's an art. It's an art.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. And so like, let me ask you, Travis, both of you, because I feel like I'm at a university of like beer, and I'm talking to like the two head professors here, and I'm like really vibing out because I love beer, and you guys are so passionate for it that it makes me like happy. So I just really want to know, like, how easy is it to make this fucking beer, Bud Light? Like, is that like a simple like brew? Like, what is that like?
That's a harder beer to make.
Really?
That's a harder beer to make for a couple of reasons.
Just add a bunch of water.
No, it will.
It's the finest in Mississippi.
Carbonate the water and then add some yellow food coloring.
That's how they make it.
But no, that's a harder beer to make. And the main thing, they're very light. So when these breweries brew this stuff, they have to make it in bulk for consistency, right? Because if you start doing small batch and stuff, that stuff is harder to maintain. Also with lighter beers, you can't hide any mistakes. If you mess up, you mess up. You can't hide anything. And also they're lagers. So literally the word lager means to store. So like monks would store it underneath their monasteries or their caves for months at a time. And that's where that style of beer comes from. The thing is with Bud Light and all those, they use a lot of sugar adjuncts. So like rice, corn and stuff like that. And they're cheaper sugars. So that's why people say, oh, we get headaches and stuff like that. But they're very consistent and they're big beers for a reason, you know. That's
Hey,
not
Wes,
just
I hope you're taking notes on this shit, dude.
yeah.
Because we might start having to make our own beer after this.
Buy yourself a Mr. Brew pack.
I think that's interesting though, because I think like for people who don't understand like a brewery like myself or Misa or Wesley, like I think we would have all assumed that this beer would be super easy to make. But then it also makes sense what you're saying, that like these things are mass produced like in like huge quantities because of how much they sell this shit. And then like you said, Rick, like if they fuck up this Bud Light, I'm gonna be like, yo, I drink this shit every single day and this shit don't taste right. Like,
This
you know what I
isn't
mean?
water anymore.
Yeah, like it's interesting that you said that because it really like it does like actually paint a picture of like how these guys produce this beer at like a fucking mass level. And then when it comes to you guys where you're producing smaller batches and it's actually like a more like easier process than what these guys are doing, that to me is pretty crazy.
Yeah, so like I think the only reason that a lot of craft breweries are coming up and stuff like that too, well, not the only reason, but one of the reasons is because that flavor's been used so much, right? So now you can go and get something locally that you can only get there, right? So like my beer, we don't distribute. You can only get it here.
Hey.
So that's what makes it unique. It becomes Socorro. It becomes a staple on it. But like those beers right there, the quality control is insane what they have. They have brewers that have probably studied this in Germany, Belgium, or whatever, and they they have certain ingredients in the process and everything, and that's why they got to make it in bulk. If I made one of those beers, right? Let's say I try to make a Bud Light that style, I would have to be charging you $15 a pint. Because also it takes longer than my beers, you know.
Yeah,
so
dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
I knew I loved Budweiser for a reason.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's so interesting. And like, yeah, there's so much that I don't really know about fucking
I just
beer
know how what
brewing.
to do, and that's just to drink it.
Right. All I know is that if I see a beer can that's closed, I'm opening it. That's it. That's all I
Right
know.
away.
So, Mr. Travis, like I have in some notes that I have that when I was talking to the people that run your guys' IG, you are not from El Paso, right? You were brought here because of your wife. Is that am I understanding that correctly?
Right. So I don't know if you guys looked at my Wikipedia. You got to look it under Jack Daniels.
I was like, hold on. I was like, you have a Wikipedia? I was like, God damn. I was like, who's on this podcast right now?
So no, I'm originally from Kansas City. My wife is originally from the East Side. She went to Eastwood, graduated from there. So just given the nature of COVID, we spent just a ton of time kind of back and forth. And the brewery scene, in the Midwest is very different than the brewery scene in El Paso. Kansas City has 31 breweries. We're, 3 hours from St. Louis where Budweiser is made. And there's, about 50 breweries there. We're 3 hours from Omaha where there's about another, 25 breweries. So we go to a lot of breweries. We drink a lot of beer too. We, plan vacations on like, hey, what breweries are there that we can hit up.
Hey.
See,
Wow.
I actually lived in St. Louis for like Warren County, right outside St. Louis, and I don't remember it because I was so young. That's probably why I like beer. But my parents used to take me to the Budweiser brewery, huge place, like all the time.
Damn, dude, that's
It
what's
is massive, yeah.
I'm gonna have my birthday party there. this year.
We did Rick was talking about going to Cologne probably about 11 years ago. We did the 200th anniversary of Oktoberfest in Munich.
Damn.
Wow.
So
How's that? How's an Oktoberfest over there? Like kind of describe like the scene like while you're there. Is it like just batshit crazy or what?
So, it's 13 hours of flying. You check into your hotel. You think, okay, it's 8:30. I'm going to go find something to eat for dinner. You get on the train, and all of a sudden, about 100 people get off the train in lederhosen, and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to follow them.
No.
They've got something.
Just follow them.
Everybody that's with me is like, where are we going? Where are we going? Shh, don't worry about it. We'll figure this out. You turn a corner, and it's just like, the gates of heaven open up, and there's just a big light.
Jeez.
It's a giant carnival. They've got, all the original family beer tents there, and you walk in and it's just a packed full tent of just people that are there to have a good time and want you to have a good time. Nobody's trying to cause any trouble, and everybody's like, hey, come on, who's got the next round? Let's drink it.
Dude, don't they say
Jesus Christ.
like Disney is like the happiest place in the world?
No, I think
that's a
Oktoberfest is. At least for me and myself. So Travis, how did so you ended up like El Paso was always in the plans for you, or was it because of the brewery that you ended up here?
Yeah, I think, really the brewery has us in the area for sure. I think, and again, a lot of that was just kind of due to COVID. We just took advantage of the fact that we were able to kind of start remoting with work and hey, let's get some beer going and let's drink some more beer.
Hell yeah. There you go.
COVID pretty much kind of like gave you guys the time that you guys needed to start all this up. Keep it going.
You know what? It did. I think one of the things that was super cool about opening during COVID that, a lot of people didn't think about is it allowed us to kind of take our time with some stuff. We were able to focus on certain areas of the brewery, instead of having everything done at once. We said, okay, let's focus on getting the patio cleaned up and getting that ready to go, because most likely if we open during COVID, people will only be allowed to be outside. All right, cool. That's done. Now let's go inside. Let's work on just this part of the bar, just this room and just this area, because that would be the first part that people would be able to see. And we can kind of keep the other parts sectioned off. So really it was a nice little blessing for us, because it allowed us to kind of take our time and really put a lot of the focus into certain areas.
Dude, I'm over here like putting my focus on finishing those puzzles I started a year ago and shit. And Jesus Christ, I'm all thinking like, COVID, thank you, COVID. I'm gonna take a break now.
I'm finishing stuff on Netflix. And that's all I'm doing.
dude.
Bro, I think we all need to be a little bit more productive here. These guys are they're outclassing us right now. So, Mr. Rick, that area right there in Socorro that you guys occupy, that brewery, how did you guys end up with that spot? What was that before? Because it seems like the perfect place for a brewery, but how did you guys acquire that land, or how, and then what was that place before? Because that whole area is populated, and there's schools there, there's houses, it's a crazy little area. So how did that all happen?
So we filed the LLC and we got this place in a month, but within that month we were looking for a lot of places. And the weird thing is we had filed as Mission Trail. But we were looking at places downtown, Montana, west side, east side. We're looking everywhere. And finally, Danielle, Travis's wife, was looking at some place on Texas Street. And the property owner of that owned this one. And he said, I have a place in Socorro. And I was thinking Socorro, I don't know. And not for any reason. It's just it's very agricultural, or at least when I was here, it was a very agricultural area, right? For this kind of business, you want a lot of foot traffic. No, you know what? We decided we'll go check it out. I come over here, I get stuck in traffic. I'm like, oh my gosh, this isn't the Socorro we grew up in, right? I remember Socorro Road being dead. That was a dead road. There was nobody out there. Now there's a bunch of traffic out here. So I get here, I'm late for the meeting. I got stuck in traffic. It's a beautiful building, renovated, everything. Anyway, so my partners are in Kansas, right? And they look at it from Google Maps and they're like, Rick, are you sure? It's a bunch of desert. I was like, look, I don't know, guys. You guys need to actually come and see it. I think it's a great location. Sure enough, when they came down, it was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. And we're renting it, right? But there's also a lot of land in the back. I think it's like 4 or 5 acres.
Wow.
Maybe, that we're also renting from. So it gives us a lot of opportunity. We have a lot of room to grow and everything. It was just the perfect location, not only with our name, but the area, the historicity of it, which that is a real word because somebody told me it wasn't, but I found out.
Can we search that? Hey, Wes, can we search that? Is that a word?
I was like, that is a real word. And so it just fit perfectly. And it's an authentic Pueblo building, right? So like we were thinking, we filed this mission trail. I don't know what we're going to do like with the modern buildings. I guess we're going to Pueblo it up, right? But no, this is almost 100 years old.
Oh,
so it
damn.
was perfect. It was perfect for our business.
There you go.
So historicity. Yep, that's a word.
I Googled it too.
That's what's up.
He was Googling it while he was talking right now. Yeah. Just to make sure.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. Yeah, that area down there, like I said, it has a lot of history. I mean, I think that was one of the most like first settled parts of El Paso. And then, like you said, yeah, the area is really agricultural. But now, like when I went over there, I got stuck in traffic too, dude. I was like trying to get there from downtown. I didn't realize how busy the fucking Zaragoza port of entry is with all the traffic, and then trying to get through there, and then all the little winding roads in Socorro. And so, like, it was an adventure. But I mean, I can see the appeal of like having somebody drive all the way out there, kind of get away from like the city bus hustle bustle of El Paso, and be at like a nice quaint little. You feel like you're on a farm, really. That's what I felt like.
100-year-old.
Yeah, and you see the buildings around there, and you're like, damn, dude, this shit has been here like for a while. You know what I mean? Like, there's been some crazy shit that's happened around here.
For sure.
Yeah, dude.
Pancho Villa probably visit that place.
Right.
We are the baby on our property. We are the youngest building.
Oh,
It's
wow.
our building.
Dude, I haven't been to Socorro since I was like.
Have you ever
15.
been to Socorro, Wes?
Yeah.
That's a lie. Look at his face.
Well, no, I looked at the buildings and it looks familiar. I just haven't. I don't go there frequently.
Yeah, you've never been there before. You're lying.
I stay home way too often.
yeah, that shit's
Yeah, we
hilarious.
were really fortunate to find the place. There were a couple of other breweries that ended up passing it up because you hear Socorro and you think it's such a far drive, but we're a mile from Speaking Rock. We're right off 375. So, it's not that far of a drive at all. It sounds a lot further than it really is. I mean, it's, 15 minutes from the east side.
Yeah.
The east side is like 20 minutes for us.
Yeah, but like from Central, it said 15 minutes on my GPS. It took me like more like 25 because of the traffic. But it's not that far of a drive.
And it's probably worth it.
And
for sure.
it's honestly like it's accessible because you can go through I-10, you can go through Loop 375, and then all you have to do is get down to Socorro Road, and boom, it's right off to your left. So I mean, it's not that bad at all. Is
it around that area like Old Mesilla and all that stuff?
No. Old Mesilla is the other way, dude. Old Mesilla is
Then
towards
maybe I
Cruces.
haven't been there.
So yeah, I knew you haven't been there. You're lying. Yeah, so Socorro is far east. It is far east, and then it's like where the lower valley like extends way out. You know what I mean?
I've driven through it,
Right.
so
Yeah, you've never been there before.
we're all gonna go there now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're all
absolutely.
going to have to go visit the brewery. All right, guys. So we're coming up on the 34th minute mark. We're going to go ahead and take a break. But when we come back, we're actually going to do a little taste testing of the beer that these guys brew. We picked some up earlier. And I have a few little pints that we're going to try. I gave one to my friend at work because I felt like he would really appreciate it. So I did that. But I have 3 here that we'll try. And then we'll all take one down. So that will be cool. And then we're just going to talk to these guys a little bit more about what's next for them. Like what's the plan? What do they see this brewery turning into? And then of course we'll do 5 random questions. And then we're going to have these guys rate our favorite beers. and see what they think about the beer we like to drink. So with all that being said, guys, we'll go ahead and take a break. Episode number 74, Conversing with Chris and Misa the podcast, featuring Rick and Travis from Three Missions Brewery. So make sure you guys are following us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and a review. And with all that being said, we will be right back.
Yo, what I do? Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast is sponsored by top quality and handcrafted products made by I Glass. I Glass products are blown here locally in the 915 and range in uses from pipes, pendants, jewelry, decorations, and even goddamn motherfucking hummingbirds, and much, much more. So, make sure you go and hit up our boy Aaron Lee at I Glass and tell him that your boys, Chris and Misa, sent you, all right? And you go and support a local El Paso business motherfucking today, all right? Thanks.
All right, guys, we are back from break. Episode number 74, Conversing with Chris and Misa the podcast.
Christ.
Jesus Christ.
He wasn't kidding when he'd say you forget.
Yeah, dude. All right, guys. Anyways, make sure you guys like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube page. Guys, if you've seen our intro on our YouTube channel for all our episodes, it's a badass intro. It's got drone shots, green screen work, all of it. It looks really nice. It really puts El Paso on the map. Lets everybody know that this podcast is truly proud to be an El Paso podcast. And all that stuff, guys, is shout out to our boy Omar at Sun City Vibes for making sure that our video work looked great. If you guys need a videographer for any reason, drone shots, digital logo reveals,
Music
anything
video.
like that. If you need him to shoot a music video for you, if you're an aspiring rapper, this is your guy.
Yes,
Omar at Sun City Vibes. Hit him up on Instagram, Facebook. He's going to get you high quality work at a good price. And he's all about our podcast, so we're all about him. So make sure you guys go support. So let's get back into this. We have Rick and we have Travis here. And I have so much beer around me. I don't know what to do.
I'm jealous.
I do not know what to do. And
I know what you could do, Chris. You could pass that shit around and we could all try it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. So, guys, I have 3 different beers that were brewed from the brewery that these guys own. They're all amazing. I've tried them all thanks to Rick earlier. Shout out to you, Rick. That was amazing.
Thanks for the invite, Chris.
Dude, this happened so fast. There were no invites. This was just like, boom.
Oh, so you couldn't tell me on the way over there, 25 minutes to get there, hey, yo, Misa, Mama, we're in Socorro, hit me up.
No, dude. I was at work, and this all just happened. It all fell into my lap, and I just had to make it happen. So what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to pour these for Misa and Wesley. They're going to try it. And then they're going to explain kind of what they taste. And then we'll have Rick or Travis kind of correct them and tell them what it really is that they're drinking.
For sure, they're going to correct us.
This is going to go so bad.
So the first one.
Are we sticking with the same glass?
No, you're going to switch it up after each
Well,
one.
I meant like.
Here, let me see.
Yeah, for us. Do you have the
cool.
same cups too? Let me see. Dude, yeah.
All right.
Ooh, the ASMR right there.
There you go.
You gotta learn how to pour a beer, man.
Dude, it's hard out. I'm pouring it out of this glass was not meant to hold beer, but whatever. Okay, so.
This is what you're going to give me?
Oh my God, that tastes amazing.
Yo.
Okay. Okay. So I know which one this is, and I'll tell you guys which one it is so you guys can explain after they try it.
I think I know what it is.
Okay, so go ahead and take a sip. Let us know what you guys think.
Do I have to move it around first like this?
Oh, you sip it however you want.
Ooh.
Okay, go ahead, Wes. First thoughts.
I want to say, first of all, I want more.
Well, yeah,
After
okay.
this, I'm going to have some more, please.
Well, that's a good sign.
I want to say there's a hint of mango.
Some mango in there. What is it?
That's
Misa?
what
How
I
do you
think I'm
feel?
tasting.
It is a
might
little
be the-
tropical, but it's like Jesus in a bottle.
But I think it's more of like the aroma coming in.
The aroma's great.
As I'm taking the sip.
Is it like orange, kind of like citrusy, kind of?
Yeah, it's definitely citrus and.
So
Look at them. They're like, yo, these motherfuckers don't
all
drink.
right. So this
any
is
type
the
of draft beer.
California style IPA that Rick had showed me. So go ahead, Rick, and tell us a little bit about what is actually in this beer.
While he's doing that, give me some
That's
more.
our 5 C's IPA. That's made with 5 different hops that start with C. That's made with Centennial, Challenger, Chinook, Citra, and Cascade hops. Right? It's made with a hint of rye, 2-row, carapils, a little bit of oats in there. And it's a West Coast style IPA on the lower IBU range. So usually those types of beers are really bitter. I made it a little bit lower.
I was gonna say it's not as bitter as like other beers like this that I've tried before. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
Delicious, man. Can I
It's got
take
a
that
good
one?
kick to it. But
Can I take the rest of that shit home?
No, I'm gonna take it.
Okay, so
I'll fight you for
so
it.
here's the second one, guys.
We both said fight. At the same time.
Bro, you see what you guys created? You guys have these guys fighting over your beer.
Well, Chris, if you'd have invited me over, maybe I would have been fighting for it, dude.
Well, maybe what we need to do is go do this podcast at the brewery.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
Yes, round
remote
2.
session.
Yes, sir.
All right, so go ahead and try that one, guys. That one is a
waiting to finish
very, very good beer too. That second one I poured you.
Ooh.
Oh, dude.
It smells like breakfast.
It does.
Oh man.
Dude, this is the kind of beer I want to drink like in the mornings when I wake up instead of coffee.
Right. That's probably what you should drink instead of coffee. Fuck the coffee. Okay, go ahead, get into it. Give us your reactions, guys. What is it? How are you
It's
guys?
smooth. I didn't expect it to be as smooth.
What is it? What are you guys drinking there?
I thought there was gonna be a lot sweeter and there was just real nice.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of pancakes.
Well, I'm saying there's definitely a maple to it and
Like maple,
maybe
like
a
flat
hazelnut.
Flat, yeah, I don't know, dude, but I want to pour this on top of my pancakes.
Whatever it is, it's the same kind of creamer I put into my coffee.
That beer
Might be hazel.
That beer is a pecan beer, right?
Oh, that's what it is.
Dude, the minute you said pecan, I was like, dude.
And the thing is, I drink pecan coffee every morning, so I was like, yo.
oh yeah, the Circle K. That's what I'm remembering it. from.
Travis, go ahead and give us some information about
dude, this
what
is
this
so
one
good,
is.
dude. This is my best.
You know, for me, whenever I drink that pecan beer, and that's probably, it's a toss up between that one and our churro for sure, for what's my favorite. But you know, I get that pecan, it hits you hard right in the beginning. To me, it gets a little bit smoky in the middle, which I love. I'm a big whiskey bourbon guy, so I like that really kind of that smoky flavors. And then it finishes off sweet because in the secondary we had a little bit of vanilla.
That's what it is. That's why I was getting
at the end.
I was getting a little creamer, and I was getting maybe that's also with the smoky. I was kind of getting like a coffee feel with the pecan coffee, and then like the little vanilla.
Dude, you know,
good.
this is a kind of beer.
I want to start my morning off with this every morning.
Just go out to my patio and just look at the sunrise and just sip on this beer every morning.
You know what's funny is Misa he's not even saying anything. He's just like,
Hey, that is saying something.
I just want to smell
without saying anything.
That's all he's been saying.
I just want to smell it.
Dude, if I ask Rick, dude, you're probably doing the same shit where you're there trying all the other beers. Rick, oh, God bless.
I was like, dude, every single one they gave me, I was like, this one's better than the last.
That's kind of how I'm feeling, because this is my favorite right now.
Okay, cool. So we got one more for you guys to taste.
Let me enjoy it a little bit.
I know, right? I was like trying to sip on this one first.
Rick
man.
was handing them to me fast. He's like, keep up, brother. I gotta know that I can trust you. And I was like, I'm here for it, man.
Hold on, let me get the water palate cleanser.
Cleanse the palate. Use the Bud Light and cleanse the palate.
I can tell you before the guys even drink that next one, that one makes me the angriest.
Oh.
The angriest?
Yes.
Oh man.
And I'll let the guys taste it and then I'll explain.
Okay.
why.
Yeah. So go ahead. This is it, Wesley.
Oh, I give you the orange cup. That's why I was confused.
Yeah. No. That's yours.
Okay, wait.
That's yours. That's the third one. Dude, this pecan beer is so fucking good.
This is not beer, dude.
This is like apple juice. This is apple juice, man.
This is not beer.
This is not beer.
Dude, I saw it coming out of the tap.
Hey,
This
I'm
is
not
beer.
gonna lie. Just by smelling this, like I could probably just give it to my kids. Like if I didn't know what it was and I saw it and I smelled it, I was like, yeah, here you go, guys.
Yeah, you
That's
could
for
go
you.
to jail for that. So don't
Yeah, I
do
know.
that.
I mean,
I think
I'm
this
not gonna
is
take
maybe
my
why
kids.
he's angry about it, because I literally smelled it and I was like,
tricked me.
I was like,
Okay.
give me beer, not the.
Go ahead. Go ahead and try it.
Oh. No way, dude.
No way.
See, you're getting
No, that's not beer.
What is it?
It's
All the other ones-
Jesus in a bottle. That's what it is. I said it. Jesus.
All the other ones had a really nice smell, but I knew it was going to have kind of a little bit of a, more alcoholic. This is just like, dude, put it in a high C container.
A Capri Sun. He was about to say a Capri Sun.
Either one.
Yeah.
Let's make some adult Capri Suns with this. This is
Hey.
So that is actually their pomegranate beer. That's what that Rick was actually talking about it earlier on the first half.
No.
funny story.
I hate pomegranate, dude. I can't eat that shit.
My parents have,
But I
four
could drink it.
pomegranate bushes. I've never had pomegranate.
Well, there you go. Now you've had pomegranate beer.
Wait.
So tell us a little bit about this one, Travis. Why does it make you so angry?
Couple reasons. First off, I don't like. I'm not traditionally a fruit beer, fan, but man, I like that one so much, and it just makes me mad. But I think that
Oh my god.
Imagine a hot summer day. Like,
That's what I mean.
Hold on, did you hear Travis?
Because
He said, "I like this beer so much, I get mad at myself for it."
but you know what? The biggest reason I like that beer, look, Al Bundy's my hero. Al Bundy, Burt Reynolds, like the manliest men of all men, right?
Right.
But my wife thought of that one, and she pushed for us to make that one.
Dude, that shit is so good though, bro. Hey, I think give his wife a round of applause, Misa. All these beers are amazing. A round of applause to you guys for that. Very good, very good.
Oh,
So-
dude, you know what, man? I just picture myself enjoying this like by the pool or like at the beach
Anywhere,
right now.
anywhere,
like
really.
Jesus.
So, Mr.
Christ.
Rick, out of the beers we tried,
I could get away at work from drinking this, and they would never know.
well,
This is
they
great.
probably would after like two of them when you're like slurring all over yourself. But anyways, Mr. Rick, out of the three that we tried, which one of these is your favorite and why?
That's a hard one.
They're all good.
You can't make him choose one of his kids.
Yes, I can.
I like the sweet one.
It just depends. It really depends. If it's a hot day, I'll go for the pomegranate. At night, I like that pecan. And you know what? Sometimes I have 5Cs, that citrus. It's good. But if I really, really had to choose, it would probably be the 5Cs.
Hey, there you go.
I like a little bit more of a bite to my beers. That one doesn't have too much of a bite, but I enjoyed that one. First of all, the aroma on it, it's well. And I like all the complex hop flavors that you get in there.
Right.
I really like hops.
I don't think I'll ever see beer the same
Dude.
again, dude.
This shit is so good. So, okay, this is what I was going to do. Do you want that one, Wesley? We're going to split these three up. Do you want that one?
I can have the pecan one?
Yeah, you can have that one. Which one do you want?
I want the last
You
one
want the pomegranate? Okay, cool. I got the 5C one.
Remember how I said I've never been to Socorro?
Right.
I think I'm going to move over
Or
there.
go.
You know what? I'm gonna save the rest for the wife, man.
He just bought a
she's gonna
house.
Love this.
Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, that's what's up, dude. These beers are amazing, guys. You guys need to go check them out. These beers are high quality. I mean,
Well, I gotta ask before. How many beers do you guys have on draft out there?
Right now, we have 7.
Nice, dude.
We try to maintain 7 on draft, but eventually we want 12, and it'll either be 4 or 3 rotational beers, and the other ones would be our flagships. So beers that we would keep forever. So
Nice,
yeah,
dude.
so for sure, those people have liked them and everything. So far, all the beers that we've had, I think we're keeping. The only one I'm still tweaking around is the cucumber, but everything else is right on.
And the only way to find your beer is over at Mission Trust at your place.
Yes, as of now, yes.
Hell
Eventually,
yes.
we do want to distribute, but I mean, we don't know when that's going to happen yet.
Dude, next time I'm hanging out with some buddies and they're trying to buy some beer, ask like, hey, we all gonna buy some beer? Be like, yo, we're not gonna go and buy some beer. We're gonna go sit down and try several beers.
Call me.
And I'm gonna take them to this place, dude. And they probably won't leave that place, just to let you guys know.
and also, guys, they will actually, if you have like a growler or anything like that, that you can take it there and they will fill it up
no way.
for a certain price. They will do that for you as well.
I just ordered some really awesome growlers.
Well, there you go. Looks
Can I
like-
take a
Bring 'em
5-gallon
online.
jug?
Again,
Because I have like a water dispensary thing. I could just like switch it out. Just put that instead.
Just bring your whole water tank for your house and shower.
Yeah, dude.
Con.
You know how like when they used to have like little kids parties, they'd have that big orange thing of punch,
Yeah.
like that big orange dispenser of punch. we're gonna get that for the next podcast of just one of these beers and just be dispensing it. We'll just bathe in it. You know what I mean? Why
Dude,
not?
Jesus. I don't know if I would want to bathe on it. I think it's a little too.
I gave
too
up on
good.
the Bud Light. You gave me one of these beers. That's what I'm sticking with now.
Yeah, dude, that's what's
I
up.
don't even know if I want to finish or this piece of shit beer.
It went from your favorite beer to you're like, I'm just gonna pour this down the drain.
Yeah, dude, it's a waste.
Yeah,
It's been a waste of money.
I just want to say thank you guys for the beer. That was really cool of you guys to let us go through, fill up some mason jars, and then come and try them on the podcast with you. So shout out to you guys for that. Let's give them a round of applause, Misa. All right, so while Dogecoin continues to skyrocket into the atmosphere, because I guess that's the hottest thing on the planet at the moment, I just kind of wanted to ask you guys, like, what is the plan? Like, do you guys plan on? I know you guys said distributing, but do you see yourself having another location, or are you guys gonna just maintain the one for now?
I think as of now, we're thinking about keeping this location. We have the space to really grow. Like we said, I think we have 4 or 5 acres of land. As of right now, we're renting. We can't tell the future, but eventually have a very big brewery in the back where we could use to distribute. So you would have the original brewery, and everything, and that's where we could do all the fun stuff. And then whatever sells the best and distribute, I imagine to all of Texas. Now, after that, I don't know, but I would like to distribute to our state.
International, bro.
And Kansas. All right.
Hey, we're gonna see it at the Oktoberfest when we go visit out there.
I think one of the important things is as a brewery, like, we maintain our location for sure. Like Rick said, we don't really know, but the possibility of, a satellite location or another tap room in addition is something that that'd be super nice. That'd be fun. That'd be great. But I think that where we are now is definitely where we plan on being for a long time.
So you guys said you guys have like 4 acres out in the back. Is it cool if I build like a little shed out there and just live there for a while?
We already got a shed for you. Come on.
How big is the shed?
How big is that?
Is this like a 2-bedroom shed?
Can I get on this?
Do you allow cats?
Just waking up to
dude.
pecan
No power,
coffee
no
every morning.
plumbing, no AC. I mean, it's perfect.
Hey,
There's
man,
beer, right?
as long as there's pecan beer, I'm good.
No, that's mine. You got yours.
So guys, the brewery is closed Monday and Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Right.
And then, so what's like a typical Saturday afternoon like what's the crowd like normally on a good Saturday for you guys? Do you have a lot of people throughout the day? Is it more like family oriented? Like, what's the vibe out there?
You know what? I think it changes throughout the day. So towards the beginning, we have a lot of families, people bringing out their kids. They have the food and everything. And then as it gets darker, we have a lot of people who go out on dates here and stuff like that. It's a really unique spot. I think that's the cool thing with all the space that we have. That environment can really be created for you, right? So if you bring your pets, your dogs, or whatever, we have a space for it. If you want to bring your kids, we have a space for it. If you want to have a quiet date, we have a space for it. So so far it's been good, right? The environment. I think a lot of people have commented on that. They really like our space. They really enjoy the space that we're at.
Dude, I'm gonna show up with like 20 people. Yeah, we're here for a quiet date.
Entertain my friends for me.
Yeah.
And what would you say, obviously, you guys are passionate about this, but when you see people walk in, people like myself that we're not huge craft beer people or just any other guy or girl, what's the thing that makes you guys happiest or makes you guys feel fulfilled when you see people's reactions to your beer? What is it that you guys when you're there, it makes it all worth it? You know what I'm saying? What is it what is that where does that come from?
I think it's the conversions for sure. They get the people away from the macros. Let them try something that they haven't had. Let them try something that they know is local. Made by their neighbor, made by a guy who lives down the street. Let them try, something that they didn't think that they would enjoy. They came in thinking, I only drink Bud Light cans. Oh, well, here, try this pomegranate ale. Oh wait. Oh, you like that? Yeah.
Dude,
we've had-
I don't know if I'll ever
Did
drink
I tell you
Budweiser
that
again.
story, Travis? Or did you just? I did tell it to you. Okay, all right. Oh my god!
I feel like there's some
I
kind
had
of
one
internal.
guy come in. He's all, my buddy only drinks Bud Light can, and I was like, you know what? Let me go and talk to him. He's all, good luck convincing him. He hasn't drank anything for years. And I go and he has like 2 pomegranate ales, 3 pomegranate ales. He's all, I like it. And I was like, all right, great, that's great.
There you go.
The guy do it, but he was all surprised because he's like, my friend, I've never been able to convince him to drink anything. So yeah, that's good.
Definitely, yeah. I can't touch the Bud Light. You handed it to me, but like,
Yeah, but I'm the type of guy that I gotta just finish a beer that I open.
I've already finished mine.
I'm having a hard time finishing this Budweiser after we just drank all that.
Yeah, dude, those beers are amazing, man. That shit was really good. So, like, do you guys you guys don't do like food out there, do you?
You know what? There is a food truck out, but we're also going to get another food source.
Nice.
So there's going to be multiple food sources. And then also by August, July, maybe late July, there's going to be across the street on Casa Palapa, there's going to be a taco and ramen shop.
Oh, nice.
So this is
Hey.
only the beginning of this area.
Right.
So like Wesley, you're talking about Mesilla, right?
Yeah.
There's all these areas. And so we're kind of doing that, but on this side.
Oh,
So, like where there's a bunch of businesses and stuff, but it's just beginning.
Yeah,
So,
Wes, that day you were on the wrong side of the road, Dougie.
Dude, I used to go all the time. Like my parents used to have an RV and they parked it there permanently at like the RV place.
Oh,
so I
okay,
could
okay.
literally go down there, spend a whole day if I drink too much. They just give me the key to the RV and I just spend the night in there.
Right.
It's just like it became a whole thing.
Oh,
So I
there
just
you go.
there
They
all the
got
time.
4 acres. We could park that RV right in there.
They
and,
got the shed, dude. The shed.
There they going.
It's cool because like it's nice that you guys are trying to develop that type of community vibe in that area where it's like, hey, we might not have the food, but the food place across the street, great tacos, great ramen, like hit that place up. We do the beer, they do the cooking. Like it's cool because it's a way to like make everybody in the community do better for their business, and I think
Well,
that's great.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what he said. Like for me, like yes, definitely the beer is delicious, man. But what makes it even better is the fact that we have these 2 locally guys that are making this beer here. You know, it's not like, hey man, this beer, bro, I got it from Denver, I got it from freaking Germany or something like that. These guys are making it here in our hometown and it tastes so good, you know? I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna move to Socorro already, dude. Hey, baby girl, you listening? Pack up the kids, pack up the clothes, let's go.
They said it's
They
family
got a
friendly.
shed.
They got a shit. All right, so real fast before we go towards the back end of the podcast, I wanted to give you guys our favorite beers, and then you just like critique them or rate them or whatever you guys want to do to them. We're not gonna tell you Bud Light or Budweiser. I have my favorite.
It's
beer
not anymore,
ready.
dude.
Do you have your favorite beer ready?
Yeah, it's this pomegranate beer from the.
no, your favorite beer prior to this episode, prior to doing this.
Yeah. It was.
Not see what I did? It's gone.
Yeah, it's a beer that I tried probably like 5 years ago, and it's called Magic Hat Number 9. I tried it at Tortuga's bar, and I there was a friend of mine, and he was drinking. I was like, hey man, what are you drinking? And he's all like, oh man, I'm drinking this, and I tasted it, and it was just like, yo, where can I get this shit right now? So I got it, and then I looked everywhere, man. I looked everywhere in El Paso, and the only place was a Vista Market out of all the places, man. And they had it, and now eventually Sprouts is selling it too. I haven't had it in probably like 6 months, but it's a beer that I buy a 6-pack, and it's just like because of the taste, man.
And
It
you
has
enjoy
so
it.
much
You
good
enjoy
taste,
it.
yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on that beer?
So I've had that one in Dallas, and apparently remembering it did leave an impression on me.
Nice.
I don't remember exactly how well it tasted because I had left Dallas in 2015. But yeah, I mean, just remembering it, that means it was either really bad or really good.
That's a 50. You know what, man? I'm gonna go over there. I'll bring you one, man, and so you could try it out, and so you won't think I have bad taste.
Travis, have you tried that beer that he's talking about?
I have had the Magic Hat number 9. They're out of Vermont, Magic Hat Brewery. That much I do know. It's, if I can kind of remember correctly, it's a pale ale, I believe.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea I mean, I drink Budweiser, bro.
It's not a bad beer. It's for like a New England style pale ale. they do some good beers that way, for sure.
What about you?
You know,
You
you
never
get a-
had a Magic Hat number 9, Chris?
No, I don't think I've ever had that one. I'm not like the hugest craft beer fan. One of my favorite beers that I always like, that's my go-to. If I ever see it on draft somewhere, I'm like surprised because it's really never on draft. But I'm a huge Heineken fan. I don't know if you guys like can respect that. You might be looking at me like, what a
No,
loser.
Travis is laughing like, look at
Yeah,
this
Travis
piece of
is
shit.
like,
no wonder he drinks
not at
Bud
all.
Light.
So what are you guys' thoughts on Heineken? That to me, a cold ass Heineken
On draft,
coming all the way from Holland. Jesus.
I think that Heineken is one of those beers that it gets you away from a lot of the macros.
Right.
It's kind of a warm bath style of let me explore my beer palate.
Yes.
If you don't know what to order, you go somewhere and they've got Bud Light, they've got Budweiser, they've got Miller, Coors, whatever. And you're like, you know what? I want to try something different. Usually Heineken's the one that's on that menu.
Heineken's is like the farthest Chris would go.
I love Heineken, man. I love me
So
a
then
cold Heineken.
that opens the door and you're like, hey, this is a different flavor than what I'm used to. And what else is there now?
Rick, thoughts on Heineken, Rick?
I think it's very good when it's very, very, very cold.
Yes,
When it
sir.
gets warm, it's not good.
Yeah. Don't drink that shit warm. Drink it very
It
cold.
has to be super cold. But yeah, no, that was one of the first beers that I was like, oh, look, I'm drinking something different than my high school.
I think that's why Chris does that.
That's what I do.
Yeah, but when it's very, very cold, it's good. But as soon as it starts warming up, it gets really skunky.
Right. Yeah, you got to
Super
drink that
skunk.
shit real fast. Wesley, what was your favorite beer before today?
So I had to like think about it because it's changed so many times. I used to work at the Greenery. I've gone bar hopping and stuff. I used to love like Firehouse 4. Fat Tire is really good. White Bastard is pretty good if you like the stronger stuff. But right now, like if there was a special kind of beer, I would have to go with Dallas Blonde.
Nice.
Really, it brought me in with how crazy and bright like the cans were, and I was in Austin, and it just hit right.
Never had that beer.
Yeah, it's great.
I've had Dallas Blonde before. That shit's really, really good, dude. That beer is
That's a
amazing.
very good beer. Yeah, I do like the Dallas Blonde a lot. That was one of the first. I would go to Deep Ellum because that's where it's from, the Deep Ellum Brewery. And that was one of the first breweries I explored and stuff. And of course, the Dallas Blonde was just like, after you have their other ones that are a little bit heavier, you start slamming those down. They're very good beers.
Oh yeah.
Thoughts on the Dallas Blonde, Travis?
I'm trying to jog. Yeah, no, it's a good beer for sure. It's a blonde. Rick will tell you that that's not my style. They just, blondes are blondes.
That's funny, dude. Blondes are blondes.
Blondes are blondes.
He says to the blonde.
Yeah, says it to the blonde guy. That shit is hilarious, dude. That's what's up. All right, so
Yeah.
what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna start to head towards the back end of this podcast.
Is it
here.
that time already?
You know what? Do you guys know what time it is?
What time is it?
Do you know
You're
what
past
time
the
it is?
freckles.
What time is it?
What time is it,
What
guys?
time It is time for the 5 random questions here at Conversing with Chris and Miso, the podcast, hosted by your boy Chris Marcus.
Let it ride, me. So let it ride. Let me hear it some more.
Let's start it over.
Okay. I like it. I like it. It goes good with the beer. What do you guys think? All right, guys. So we have 5 random questions. We have our boy Rick and we have our boy Travis. And I have 5 random questions, and we're gonna get into it. So,
Yes, sir.
question number 1, guys. I hope you guys are movie fans.
Ooh.
Can you tell me what your favorite favorite Adam Sandler movie is?
That's Travis. He's a movie fan.
Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
It's-
those are the
it's-
best top
it's-
2 movies, yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a toss up between those two.
Can I nominate Big Daddy? Can I do that? That's a great one.
Waterboy? Can I say Waterboy?
Yeah, you can say Waterboy. I'm not mad at that at all. Rick, so you're not a movie guy, Rick?
No, yeah, I'll watch them. It's just I don't know as much as Travis does.
Yeah,
He tells me movie quotes all the time. I'm like, I don't know where that's from.
hey, that's exactly what happens between me and Chris. Chris watches no movies. No, the only movies he's seen are the ones that his parents made up seeing when he was young. That's what he asked about Adam Sandler.
Right.
Anyways,
That's why I almost called him Sadler Adam. Or whatever.
my hiney.
Okay, guys. So I want to know, Rick and Travis, if you have the chance to go to space tomorrow, but you can only go by yourself in a pod, would you go or not?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're going for sure?
Yeah, dude. Okay, well,
Rick,
hold
are
on,
you
hold
going?
on. Is his safety like security? He'll come back alive and everything?
I can't say yes or no to that. You're getting in the pod and you're going out to space, brother.
Dude.
You jumped the gun on that one.
But I got a pregnant wife and a toddler.
I'm out of here.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
What do you think, Rick? Are you going to space?
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah, I'm
I have
not.
a kid on the way. I have a newborn.
Right, you have a kid on the way. Yeah, dude, you have some priorities down here. I don't think
know
you
what?
should be in space.
Him saying that.
That's why I'm going.
I got a brewery to run. No, I'm just kidding.
Travis said, that's why I'm leaving.
I was gonna say, man, I got 2 kids, bro. Get me on first right now. Take me out.
Okay. Shit's hilarious. Wes, are you going to space?
Dude, well, I did sign up for that, that billionaire
Right.
that bought all the seats for the first one
So
to
you're
go up.
trying, yeah, you're
Dude,
going.
I would
didn't make
laugh
it, but
my ass off if they end up choosing you because I know, like,
don't
she's
say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't
just
say that.
watching your face, just like going all the way up there, dude, and like conversing with Chris and me.
I'm just gonna live stream. I'll live stream the whole thing.
Right. All right, question number 3. Let's get some music, Misa. All right, guys. If you could bring one place or thing from the past back, what would it be? For example, Blockbuster, things like that. Hudson's Grill, things, Fur's Buffet. If you could bring any place back that is no longer open, what would that place be? And let's start with Rick on that one.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think that fast. I do like Blockbuster. I would probably bring it back. That had some good memories.
Right.
My dad would take us on Friday, buy us pizza. Blockbuster.
Did you guys hear what the last Blockbuster is doing? They opened an Airbnb so you can go and it's set up like an old 90s like living room. And you can spend the night there.
Yeah.
No way.
That's the one that's in Bend, Oregon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mr. Travis, what's one thing that you would bring back that's no longer existing?
Oh man, existing like for me or just like in general?
Just in general.
Oh, I was gonna say, could I bring back like my security blanket?
Yeah, I guess you could bring that back. Yeah. Like your blanket from when you were a little kid and stuff?
Yeah.
You had a nickname for it? What was its nickname?
Oh, Blanky. I don't know.
Blanky.
And that's crazy, man. I have a 4-year-old dude, or
Golly.
he's about to be 5 in a couple of days. Actually, he's gonna be 5 in 2 days. But since he was born, he has his Spider-Man blanket that he carries around, and eventually, when he graduates from high school, dude, instead of like having his cap and gown, I'm gonna make him a Spider-Man cap and gown shit out of his blanket.
Just embarrass him in front of all his friends. Great. At his
No,
graduation.
because then I'm gonna tell him, dude, you're gonna be on a podcast one day, and they're gonna ask you this question, and you're gonna want to say, "Hey, your blanket."
All right, question number 4. Let's get some music, Misa. So let's start out with Travis on this one. Mr. Travis, I need to know what your favorite holiday of all time is.
Ooh.
Oh, you know what? I'm a Thanksgiving guy.
Hey, yes, sir. You just love the food or what? Obviously, if you can tell, I just love the fucking food.
Like I'll smoke a turkey all night.
Right.
And just bring everybody over, have them eat, have everybody get fat,
Right.
Yes.
and just enjoy it.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I'll smoke myself and then go get fat. How about that? Mr. Rick, what is your favorite holiday of all time?
Easter.
Oh,
Hey.
wow. And that just passed. How was your Easter? Did you hunt for eggs?
It was very good. Very good. We have a long night vigil and then we eat steak. We went down to what's the name of this restaurant? Not Logan's. Shoot, it's right there on the freeway before you get off Airway.
I'm trying to think.
It's not Logan's.
Is it
The which one?
I can't I
Is
don't
that
know.
Hooters, Rick?
Hooters.
I forgot.
Hooters.
Hooters.
Happy Easter.
It's next to the Sam's Club.
Yeah, Hooters.
Yeah, that's Hooters.
No! Oh my God!
Wait. You said Airway? Ojos Locos?
Oh my gosh! No, I forgot the name of it. But we went there and we ate lamb and steak and stuff, and we've
Nice.
done it since we were kids.
Is it called
I like it.
Bennigan's?
No, it's not Bennigan's.
I don't know. I'm just rolling off fucking restaurant names.
I know. My God, I already had one beer
When I
tonight.
graduated high school, I went to Orlando, and they had like $1 Long Island iced tea at Bennigan's, and they never carded anybody.
Oh,
Dude, I've heard a lot about Bennigan's, dude. I've heard it's a good place to go, and I heard like obviously they don't really card, so
hey, $1.
I'm 32. I don't need to
Long
worry
I
Island.
know
about
it doesn't
that.
matter anymore, but who knows?
Well, I
Okay.
mean, when you have $1 Long Islands, that's crazy,
Right.
dude.
Hell yeah.
$1 Long Islands, they used to have like dollar like drinks every week there at Applebee's, and I got kicked out on the day that they had Long Island's
Christ.
$1 Long Island's there at Applebee's on Airways. So
Landry's, okay. That was my next choice. That's what I was gonna say next.
Oh
That's
my
what I-
gosh! I know. Also, Logan's.
Right, we're all fucking naming restaurants that aren't
he's
even
all
in El
Hooters.
Paso.
It sounds nothing like Logan's, bro.
All right, question number 5. Let's get some music real fast, guys. Last question for y'all. I'm gonna let this ride for a little bit. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys. So, I guess we'll start off with Travis on this one. Mr. Travis, what would you tell a 15-year-old you? Like, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
Dude, that question had scared me at first. The way you worded that at first, I was like, where is this going? Oh my God. Where is this going?
Travis is all like, drop that goddamn nasty beer right now.
Go get another Bush Light from the fridge.
Go grab another.
You can't stop now, son.
Oh man, no. A 15-year-old Travis would have had a lot to learn, not just about beer, but
Life.
yeah. Yeah, focus on the quality, and I think that applies to beer as well.
Yeah, that applies to everything.
Look,
Focus
man,
on the quality.
Everything.
I always ask, like, Chris doesn't show me these random questions.
Yeah.
He just wants it to be super random. But sometimes I'd like to throw that question back at Chris. So what would you fucking tell your 15-year-old self?
I would tell my 15-year-old self, stop being a bitch, number one.
Clean your fucking room, Chris.
Get your shit together. Maybe get off the Xbox every once in a while. And go make some friends and do something cool with your
Make
life.
some goddamn money, Chris.
God damn it. And make some money while you're at it. How about that? Okay. That's what I would have told myself.
Wow.
And also, baseball is going to be boring in about 10 years. That's what I would have told my 15-year-old self. And Dogecoin, bro. Get in on that. Get in on that early, baby.
To the moon.
All right, Rick. What are you telling 15-year-old Rick? Like anything, life advice of any kind. What would you tell yourself?
You don't know anything.
You don't know a goddamn thing.
Don't pretend you know things. Don't try and know things. You don't know anything.
Oh shit, that's
I
hilarious.
could tell the version of me yesterday that.
Right. You can still tell that to yourself today, honestly.
Yeah.
You really don't know much. You don't even know where Socorro is. Oh shit. Okay.
But I know what beer I like.
Right. He knows what beers he can order.
pathetic loser.
Yeah, basically.
All right, guys. So real fast, before we wrap up this podcast and we give our final thoughts, Mr. Travis or Rick, whichever one of you guys wants to handle this, tell our listeners where they can find your brewery and tell them like what days you guys are open so they can try to drop by and check out what you guys have.
Any
You
of you
want to do
two?
Travis or me?
Any of you?
10179 Socorro Road. We are a half mile south of the Mission. We're a mile south of 375, right next to Casa Ortiz. We share a parking lot with them. Check us out. Wednesdays 3 to 8 or 3 to 10. Thursdays 3 to 10. Fridays 3 to 12. Saturday 12 to 12. Sundays 12 to 8.
Hell yeah, there you go. Mr. Rick, where can people find you guys on social media?
They can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Go ahead and follow us, and it's with Three Missions Brewery.
Hell yeah.
So just follow us on there and like us and come and visit us. I'm sure you'll like our product, even if you're not into craft beer. I know a lot of people aren't. It's a cool place, and I'm sure you're gonna at least like one of our beers.
Right.
So you can enjoy it with who you come with or whoever family member you come.
You
with.
made a believer out of me for sure.
I'm coming back for pecan.
all I gotta say is Budweiser. Who?
Hell yeah, you guys. Yeah, so guys, make sure you guys check them out. Follow them on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram. If you guys are in the area or if you guys are looking for a good place to go, get a nice beer, kind of break the norm of what you can do here in El Paso, you look no further than these guys. So make sure you guys go check them out. Make sure you guys go support them. Support the people who support the podcast. That's what this is all about. So with all that being said, guys, let's go around the virtual Zoom call here. Let's give our final thoughts on today's podcast, and we'll wrap it up. Let's go ahead and start with you, Wesley. Final thoughts on today's show?
Absolutely amazing until about 30 seconds ago, and then I ran out of the pecan drink.
Oh, I guess you're gonna have to go to Three Missions.
I guess we're going there after this.
They're closed.
they got 4 acres. We'll camp out.
You teased me,
Right.
and now I'm hooked, and now I want more. But no, it's been an absolute blast.
Hell yeah. Thank you for being here today, Wes. Misa, final thoughts on today's podcast?
Yes, man. I want to give a big shout out to start off with to my son Sebastian. He'll be 5 years old by the time this comes out. So happy birthday, buddy! I love you, man. You're becoming a big boy, and you need to get a job soon. And just it's true though, you know. God bless. But I just want to say, man, Rick, Travis, guys, it was a pleasure to meet you guys. When Chris told me about this, I was all like, yo, somebody that owns a brewery wants to be on our podcast or is down to be on our podcast. Awesome, man. Trying your beers, just listening to you guys about how much it takes to create a beer like this. It just really blows my mind. This is nothing compared to what you guys make. Especially that you guys are local as well. I really, really love that, man. Me and Chris are all about representing El Paso. And so that being said, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Everybody listening, guys, please hit these guys up. You guys won't get disappointed. Wes, bro, always a good one, man. Good job. Chris, hell of a job. Good pick on this one. And everybody listening again, guys, make sure you guys follow, stay safe, and stay fresh.
Oh yeah, Mr. Rick, final thoughts on today's podcast, man.
I'm very glad to meet you guys. I hope to see you guys here and meet you in person. I met Chris in person. But Wesley and Misa, I hope to meet you guys in person. And we like doing this. Anybody trying to, expose the community, show what's out there and everything, we really appreciate it for sure. All right.
Hell yeah. Travis, final thoughts today.
Guys, I've had a blast. I've had a just fantastic time. Thanks for having us out. But we really need to circle back to this story about Misa getting kicked out of.
Right. Why did we just gloss over that? Why was that okay? Why didn't anybody say anything?
He tried to run.
All right, Misa, you got 2 minutes to explain what the fuck happened.
Well, okay, it was a Friday night. I worked at the airport. My boss, usually every Friday, my boss would invite us out to have some drinks, and we found out that very same day that Applebee's had these dollar Rhode Islands, you know.
Long Island. Rhode Island.
Jesus Christ.
Rhode Island.
Misa turned into Rhode Island after all those ones.
Anyway, so we show up, and that's all we did, man. And we started drinking, and we started getting too loud, and my boss got into it with once the bartender came up, she's like, yeah, we're gonna have to cut you guys off, and my boss was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He's like, I need another Rhode Island.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, we're on the road in the middle of a fucking island. But
did we pay the tab?
I remember she's standing outside, like she's laughing, like, dude, did we just get kicked out of Applebee's? Like, holy fuck.
Shit.
Thank you.
Have to be a fucking certain kind
a Long
of person.
Island turned into a Rhode Island.
Right.
And that's when we fucked up. I think that's what happened. I was like, yo, can I have another Rhode Island? And she's like, yeah, you're cut off, dude. That's not what they're called.
Yeah, I'm just jealous. Like that's, I've had a dream of getting kicked or just getting completely wrecked at Chili's.
It's fun, man, but it's kind of disappointing when you think about it. Like, oh, dude, really, Applebee's, Misa, God
All these
bless.
families just watching you
Like,
get carried out.
I've gotten in so many fights at different bars and never got kicked out. And it was like, yo, half off for that punch right there. But at Applebee's, they're like, yo, Rhode Island, motherfucker, you gotta go.
He was fighting right in front of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right,
what happened.
Mr. Travis, final thoughts today. Hey, thank you for calling back on that, man. That was hilarious because I really wanted to ask me, so like, what the fuck did you do to get kicked out of a fucking Applebee's, bro?
Rhode Island. Man.
Rhode Island. Favorite state in the country, Rhode Island.
We need T-shirts that say, "Do you want a Rhode Island?"
Now I gotta go visit Rhode Island.
Right.
Chris, final thoughts, Chris.
No, I was going to throw it back to Travis. Travis, final thoughts real fast.
Oh, you know what? Again, thanks for having us, guys. I can definitely speak for myself and Rick and say we had a blast.
Shit was funny, man.
Final thoughts. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
All right, hell yeah, guys. That's a perfect way to end this fucking podcast. Good shit. So, guys, my final thoughts today. Number one, Wesley, thank you for being here and producing this again. Shout out to you for that. Misa, another dope episode, brother. Appreciate you for that. Guys, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for setting time out of your busy schedule to come and chat with us. And thank you for allowing me to go to your brewery today when you guys were closed. They were closed, guys.
Jesus.
They didn't have to let me do this. They didn't have to at all.
They're like, come
And
back
they
when
did.
we're open, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So like, thank you for that hospitality. They sent us with some little jars of beer, and the beer was amazing. I'm glad you guys liked it.
I'm having a really hard time not trying to finish this.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, but I'm saving it for the wives, so she'll
yeah.
know.
So shout out to you guys for being on here. Rick, Travis, very nice to meet you guys. I look forward to meeting Travis in person. We will be down at your brewery sometime soon. Mark my word for sure. You guys are very dope. I love what you guys are doing. I think you guys are doing something that is very cool, very different here in El Paso, and I'm glad you guys were able to come on our platform and talk to us about it. You guys are invited anytime for round two. I want to extend that invitation to you guys now. But thank you guys for being on. Everybody listening, make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and a review. With all that being said, guys, episode number 74, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, featuring the guys, Rick and Travis from the Three Missions Brewery in Socorro, Texas. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for being on. With all that being said, guys, we are...